Hey everybody, it's Elizabeth and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing you guys along for a little home interior makeover DIY process. And although I typically like to film videos that are project related start to finish for that one project, these next few videos you see about this project are actually going to be kind of like what I get done in a day sort of thing. I'm working on our old house here, our house in the country, and I'm going to be doing this like weekdays in between juggling work and many other things. So I'll only be able to be here like 4 to 5 hours a day, tops, because I got an hour drive back and forth. So I'm going to be trying to pack in as much productivity as I can before. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the main space that I'm going to be working on, and I will be painting 4 other rooms other than this space. So, and if you've been with the channel for a while, you know this is the house we lived in. This is a kitchen that I filmed numerous cooking videos in, and we were like 80% moved out. So there's 2 rooms that still have some furniture in them that need to be painted. So during this process, I'll just be moving that furniture to the middle of the room and painting those rooms just to get all of the painting done, preferably in like 4 or 5 work days is my preference. So it's hard to see in the kitchen here because there's so much light that comes in these windows here. See, it kind of blinds you, but I really want to show you this whole space. So bear with me. Okay, so there's the front door where that blinding light's coming from, and we're standing in this tiny little hallway that we have here. I'm going to flip you around and show you as you go into the kitchen. See, this is as you go into the kitchen coming from the hallway. Hey, the light's not too bad here. So these the cabinets themselves were like dark brown, painted dark brown until last spring. I painted the lowers and the uppers white, and I was going with a very light springy vibe in here. So I painted this old chimney that's no longer in use, this light color. You can kind of see the trend I was going for, right? So what I'm going to be doing in here is fairly different. And we've got these floors that we do like. They're very dark wood. So, the biggest thing we're going to be doing is when you come in here, we've got this old hutch, which we don't hate it. I will probably make this over in a little project and just sell it. It's a great piece of furniture, but because this just takes up so much space, this upper piece, I believe it is 2 pieces. I'm not 100% sure. We're going to try and move it today. But anyways, it just, all you can really put in there is like stuff on display or photos, which is what we had for many, many years. But we want to do something totally different. So this piece is coming out. Last year I also painted the trim here white, and I came in and I did this trim white. So nothing's been done on this wall. This piece of furniture has been here probably 7 or more years. So I anticipate behind that wall needing some work, and it's going to be repainted. We'll go over colors in a minute, but I wanted to point out there's this wall here between what previously was my office. So one, you can see it's purple in here. Floor needs some work. That's going to be a project we get to a little bit later. But then this paneling here is warped. You can see it very clearly there, and it's warped there. So, and all this trim is brand new. We did all this trim just like back in the spring. So I'm going to be ripping out this paneling, and we're probably going to be doing drywall. But the biggest thing we're going to do is rip out this wall. And instead of this purple room being my office, this is going to be a dining room that's going to be open to the kitchen. This is a load-bearing wall, so we will have to do a post. And what we're planning on doing is a post kind of right about here. So it's like nowhere near the walkway. You don't feel like necked down, like you have to walk a certain way, but just kind of over here. And we'll have a big island here in the middle. And then behind where this is, we're going to do a dresser that I'm going to make over that is going to be like it's just going to be kitchen storage. It's going to have a coffee bar on top and some floating walnut shelves for useful storage, but also like photos and stuff. And then again, this right here, imagine this all open. So in there will be the dining room table as well as a few different things. So my goals for today are, when we packed this kitchen, okay, the cabinets, it quickly became apparent to us that the insides of the cabinets were filthy, because this home has been lived in and occupied for at least 15 straight years. The cabinets have not been emptied in all that time. So today, not only am I going to give them a deep, deep cleaning with some elbow grease, but I'm also going to spray paint them white with a handheld airless sprayer, which I bought the other day. I've never used it before, so there's going to be kind of a learning curve in that, but that's another thing I'm hoping to get done today. My husband's going to swing by on his lunch, and we're going to get started on removing this wall. At least get the paneling off on both sides. We know there's no insulation in there. Back when he grew up in this house, this wall was not here. What was here is a load-bearing support, and then his dad had like a little built-in shelf, so you could see through to the other side. Long story, but this used to be the back of the house. And when it was the back of the house, there was 2 windows here. And when they built on this next room, they took out the windows and the dad put in the shelves. And then there was another room, right? Well, so then when this room was the back of the house, so then that made this room the back of the house, right? So then it had the 3 windows on that side. It had 3 windows on that side. Fast forward another 8-9 years, and my husband built this addition on the back of the house, closed this in, and there are 3 windows behind that. And it was not done properly, and that's why those walls are wavy. And that's why this wall is wavy, because there are windows, or were at some point, windows inside both of those walls. So we know we can fix it. It's mostly cosmetic. And the one in the office, after I made over that office last year and did all the work we did and put in the new windows and all that stuff, we had intended to kind of come back around and do that at some other point. We just wanted to get the bulk of the work done. And then we moved. So anyways, so let me get you back on the tripod. So if you've been watching while we've been living in the cottage, a lot of things were painted a really boho, moody librarian, like, what is that? They call it like a grand millennial, which is like granny chic vibe. Anyways, that's really my style, which is funny because as a wannabe interior designer and a future interior designer, my personal style has evolved over the years as I've grown as a person. And it's funny to me that my vibe and goal for this kitchen changed so much in the span of a year. And that's why I halted this project and I never finished it, because I got almost done and I was just not loving it. I mean, that's cute, right? I mean, that's cute, but it's not for me anymore. So that's going to be painted that like a burnt sunset orange I did all over at the other house. This wall behind me, because it's going to span across 2 rooms, it's all going to be that deep foresty green. And then every other wall in this space is going to be the white that I've used throughout almost everywhere. However, I will note, I'll put the color swatches up here. When I went and picked up the color recently, I went for a different shade of white rather than the coconut milk, sweet coconut milk I used at the other house, because this house actually has pure white trim everywhere. The other house has natural wood trim. Everything's really dark and heavy. And so I picked a specific white to balance out that heaviness. And here, this white's going to mesh up with another white on trim. And I didn't want them to really clash. Like, I felt the creamy white against the bright white would make the creamy white look yellow. And so instead I went with something closer to a bright white, but not. It's called, I think it's, Jasmine Night, or Nightly Jasmine, or something about night and jasmine. Anyway, so it's really cute. All the other colors I'm painting, you guys, are the exact same colors we've done over at the other house, because we all love them so much. And we're trying to make this home just like really inviting and really wonderful. So that's what we're doing. Limited time, lots of talking. So I'm just gonna get to it. I'm gonna bring you along. I'm not gonna film every single thing, because then the video would just way too long, but I will bring you along for most of it. one other thing I failed to mention is I wanted to kind of show you or kind of explain my design style and idea for this space, being as these cabinets are so white. And the reason I halted this project, when the cabinets all were finally done with as many coats as white as I had to put on to cover the brown, was because the white was so stark to me. It was like so white and cold and overpowering, and I just hated it. So what I'm going to do, so I don't have to repaint these cabinets right now, and we can get probably another at least a year out of them before eventually we're going to have to replace at least the door fronts because they've got so much paint on them. And I don't want to have to spend the time repainting them. It's very, very time intensive. It actually took me like 2 months in between while I had time to do it. So I just don't want to do that again. So what I'm going to do instead to really mellow out this white, which I'm really stoked about. So I'll share up here in the corner of the screen my mood board for this space, as well as some pictures of the items I plan to pull in to help this space. And one of those is, let me turn you around. We did this silver metal tin backsplash idea. I'm going to replace that with faux peel and stick tiles. So this is anything you could do in like a rental property. I'm also going to do the contact paper because you see the countertops are white too. Original 60s vibe. They're terrible. They stain all the time. They're just very, very annoying. So I'm going to do some dark. It's going to look like a walnut butcher block. But it's going to be contact paper. It's made for kitchens. It's waterproof, whatever. No, it's not going to last forever. It is also a temporary fix. But then again, it's something you can do in a rental, which is wonderful. It's going to give kind of the kitchen the update it needs for now. And then we will eventually probably do actual butcher block for the whole thing at a later date. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to change out all these silver pulls, which unfortunately are near brand new. And I'm going to do walnut pulls. So that's going to bring in the color of the floor up to the countertop and the color of the floor to our pools. And then redoing the backsplash, the one that I picked is a lot of brown tones, but also light. Like the browns in it are kind of accents. And that, I believe, pulling in all that wood to this stark array of whiteness, I think will really balance it out a lot. So I'm super excited. So that's my plan. Also, last note, one thing I'm going to be doing while I'm here today is measuring the countertop for the contact paper. I'm measuring the ceiling because I'm considering doing peel and stick ceiling tiles because we have these ceiling tiles. And so I wanted to bring in like old looking really cool ones. That's kind of to be determined. But anyways, so I'm going to measure that. So at least I've got my number. And then I'm going to, before I get really started, because I'm very visually inspired, I'm going to move this hutch out. And then I'm going to put tape on the ground where the dining room table would be, where we want the island, the two dressers, and the couch that I actually want to have in the dining room because I love that couch and I think it'll really help create this whole space will be like a total gathering conversation area. And so I'm just measuring all that out and that will help me get a feel for if that couch will actually fit or not. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this. So I already have a rough sketch of the kitchen and the dining room. And so this is basically the layout that I want, but this is not to scale. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my measurements and I'm going to go ahead and put them on this that I've already done. This is all done in pencil. I'll be doing my measurements in pencil just in case I mess up on anything. But then I can work from this. And if I needed to, I could draw this to scale on this graph paper once I have the measurements, but I don't know that I'm going to be that anal about it. I'm just going to do the tape and make sure that these things fit because I know the dimensions of all these things. This I've not ordered yet, but I know the dimensions of it. Nasty. Wow, it's so dusty. Oh my goodness. And there's like... one thing I didn't mention is this wall back here once upon a time used to be wallpaper. You can see right there. The paint that was on here apparently was pretty thick and that peeled off that corner one time. And so you can see like floral wallpaper back there. But apparently back behind here, it's pretty nasty looking, but look, you can see that's where the paint has peeled up there. So that's going to be a repair I'm going to have to do before I paint. And I was hoping to paint today. And we'll see. This is not two pieces like my husband thought it was. It's one And it does have a light in it. There's all kinds of junk under it. Ugh, this has been here so long. Okay, thankfully we have no threshold between here and the living room, so I'm just going to move this to the living room. Wow, a big open wall. Wow, deep cleaning needed. That's where I want the blue couch to go. I don't know if you can see it. I'll do the rest of the lines in a minute. This cabinet right here is the worst, but you see what I mean? Just from, I don't know what that is. It could be some mildew. I'm gonna scrub it, I'm gonna get it all off. And the product we're using has kills in it, just to be safe. And the rest of them aren't all as bad, but it's just like, yuck, from years of just always being stuff in there. And there was contact paper over the majority of this, and I ripped it out. So obviously the bottoms are nasty too. So major deep cleaning.
Be close enough, because between 33 and 34. Yeah, that's the old.
That's the old wood siding.
Wood siding.
How cool! We ought to save that if we can. What? What is it?
Nothing.
Can you not? Or you mean it'd be harder to take out?
I said to come down. I'm not going to be easy on it.
Well, I mean, like, if you think about it, if there was just like one or two, we could like make a sign or something out of.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty neat.
that,
Yeah, I don't mean like every single one. That's cool though. Boy, that was fun. So my husband just popped by. They're the old windows I was telling you about that were later turned into bookshelves. And then when this was no longer the back of the house and was a laundry room, he said the washer and dryer were here and caused that damage on the old wood paneling. Anyway, gosh, it's gonna be so nice to get that off. Woo! So I'm gonna go back to scrubbing inside the cabinets. And while my husband was here, we were taking screws and stuff out of this wall, and I was wiping it down. This is the one that's been predominantly covered by that hutch. So I missed a spot. I need to scrub over there. Anyways, I'm gonna do that and then inside the cabinets. So I've only got about 45 minutes left here before I have to go pick up our kid. So I don't think, I don't know if I'm going to get to spray paint anything. I really want to do the interior of the cabinet, so I really just need to book it. But I'm going to wrap up this video with just what I got done today. To be determined. so I can order the contact paper tonight. Okay, so I got the cabinets cleaned out. This one is actually like, that's paint like stuck on there or something. I don't know. Got those cleaned out. This one was the worst. It's much better. Painting will help. And that's all I'm gonna get done today. So I feel good about getting a lot of cleaning done. And I realized these icky parts on the wall here from that hutch. I need my putty knife and I need putty, and I left it all at the other house because I wasn't expecting to need it. So plan is tomorrow come back, spray all the white stuff, which fingers crossed I can get that done, and spray this wall and that wall and 3 walls in a bedroom and 1 wall in the living room all green. So it'd be great if I could get that done tomorrow. And also my husband's going to meet me here again tomorrow, and we're going to take the paneling out on this side and kind of expose that framing and everything from both sides. So that's going to be great. So anyways, if you like videos like this, subscribe. I love DIY makeover projects, home interior design, landscape design, gardening, canning and cooking and all that fun stuff. So anyways, please do. Oh, I also have to spray the drawers. See how nasty it is? That's not like dirty. That is old paint peeling off the inside of the drawer. So I'm going to take, and when I painted these before, I just did the drawer fronts on everything. So while everything is actually empty, I'm going to take them all outside and I'm going to spray the insides of all the drawers. So that will be a tomorrow project as well when I'm spraying all this other stuff. So super pumped. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe. Thanks for watching. I love you guys. Mwah.